Carolyn Rose, and welcome to my RV life. I have been living in my 29-foot Class C RV here for the past 7 months. I have been blogging about it and writing some articles about mostly what not to do when you first start out living in an RV, and you can check them out on my website and blog at carolynsrvlife.com. I finally decided it was time to start making some videos. I know a lot of you out there may be thinking about doing this and wondering, can I do it? How do I do it? What's involved? And what's it like to live on the road? So I thought I would make some videos and show you what my life is like out here. And I hope that you enjoy them. This is my debut video, of course, so welcome. And I think I'm going to start with some introductions, introducing you to some key players in my RV life. Here, I'll give him a treat. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. The question, of course, that I get the most is, what made you decide to live in an RV? It's kind of a radical thing to do for a lot of people. So I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you about how I got here. And then I'm going to wrap it up by telling you about some videos that I have coming up. I've got plans for a few more right off the bat. So I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for those videos. But first, without further ado, I would like to introduce my #1 favorite traveling companion, my only traveling companion most of the time, and this is Capone. Capone is 11-and-a-half-year-old Rottweiler Lab mix. He's a rescue. He's been with me since he was 6 months old. He came with the name Capone. And he's a good boy sitting here because I've been feeding him treats. But as soon as I let him go, he's gonna go. He doesn't like sitting in this chair. But say hi to everybody out there. But this is Capone, my traveling companion, my best friend. And then over here, I have Matilda, or Tilly for short. And Tilly is a 1993 Jamboree Rally with a Ford chassis, so it's a Ford E350. I bought her with 53,000 miles for $8,000 about 8 months ago. And why is her name Tilly? Well, I met a woman in one of my first big trips to Arizona when I first started out who had a Class B named Matilda. And I was like, where, Matilda, what does that mean? Why'd you come up with Matilda? And she explained to me, and I Googled this to make sure it was true before I named Tilly. A Matilda is that pouch at the end of a stick of a hobo. So you know how hobos walk around with their sticks and they have that handkerchief pouch? That's called a Matilda. How perfect! I've always wanted to be a hobo. So when I heard that, I was like, I need that. That is what I'm going to name my rig. So the idea of being a hobo and jumping on a train and just going wherever it takes you, how romantic and awesome, right? So I had to take that name, and I asked her, can I steal it? And she said, of course. So Matilda, Tilly for short, is my bundle of everything I need at the end of my hobo stick. So those are the key players in Carolyn's RV life. And so the next question is, how did I get here? I think that looking back, my whole life has been about getting me to this place. And again, if you go to my website, the full story is there, but I'll give you the short version. So this video is not 3 hours long or 49 years long. But basically, I did everything the way you're supposed to do it, sort of. I kind of took the scenic route. You know, I've had some interesting issues and challenges and adventures throughout my life, but through all of that, I managed to get a degree from Berkeley, managed to build a career, managed to get a house and a husband. But basically, it really never fulfilled me. And in fact, when I got everything I thought I wanted, I was basically trying to drink myself to death. So the recession of 2009 hit, which actually in retrospect it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I lost my job, we lost the house, I booted the husband, and I started my own business. So for the last 7 or 8 years, I have built a marketing consulting practice, helping small business owners develop strategic marketing plans, do market research, and also helping them develop social media profiles, helping them build websites and blogging and all the things that go with marketing. So that's really what I've been doing self-employed for the last 8 years. And that was really the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because it helped me start to see a different way to live. We're all raised to think that we should work for a company, go to a job 40 hours a week, and give our lives and our souls and our freedom to somebody else, right? And then we're supposed to be happy with weekends off and 2 weeks of paid vacation. I wasn't happy. That never made me happy. I never wanted to do that. And by the time I became self-employed, I started realizing, it took me a couple of years, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm free. I don't have to work 9 to 5. I don't have to just take weekends off. And I can take month-long vacations and go to Europe if I want to. So that really helped me. It kind of, I think, set the groundwork for living this way and realizing that I could be as free as I wanted to be. So over the last 7 or 8 years, I've built my business, traveled to 8 countries, done a couple road trips, done a ton of backpacking, and really started to live life on my terms. And then last year, in 2015, in August and September, I hiked the John Muir Trail, which is a 220-mile trail from Mount Whitney to Yosemite in California. I started south of Mount Whitney, so I hiked 256 miles in 26 days by myself. And I changed. I don't think you can do anything like that and not be changed, but my whole world changed. And I didn't realize it. It was kind of subtle at first. But I came back to my life, which was a 600 square foot in-law apartment that I paid $1,500 a month for in a suburb 30 miles outside of San Francisco. In a box. I had no real outdoor space to myself. I really didn't have a lot of windows. If I wanted to walk home, we had to drive somewhere, or there was a ton of traffic. So I started feeling like literally like a caged animal. I couldn't do it anymore. And so that backpacking trip, I'd been backpacking for years, and backpacking was always my spirituality. It was always my way to connect with the universe and to connect with myself. Being in the wilderness like I am here is where I find peace. It's where I find serenity. It's where I am able to truly be me and feel at one with the universe. So it has been a very spiritual thing for me, and being out there alone for 26 days just amplified that and made going back to quote-unquote reality and society even more difficult. So I went back to my little box and decided I couldn't do it anymore. I felt like I was living a lie. And all of a sudden, the money that I was making, the things that I was buying, the things that I needed for prestige or whatever, it just seemed ridiculous to me, when all I wanted to do was travel and backpack. So I started researching, and I started thinking, well, what can I do? How can I change my life? And at first I thought I would just leave the Bay Area, find a nice country town to live in, a nice rural town to live in, maybe buy or rent a place to live. And that just didn't seem to suit me. That didn't seem right. My real dream, my real fantasy when I laid in bed at night, was to grab Capone in my backpack and hike into the wilderness and live off the land and just disappear. Literally, I dreamed about that, and I researched it. Where can I go? How can I do it? What survival skills will I need to just disappear into the wilderness and live off the land? Well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. That would have been really hard to do. I would have starved to death or froze to death or burned myself up or something. That wasn't realistic for me at all. So that evolved into looking at off-the-grid living, looking at tiny house living, and through that research, I stumbled upon a whole community of people who live in their RVs. What a concept. And I thought, that's it. I can do that. I have a home. I have all the comforts I need. I'll save money so that I can travel as much as I want to travel. I'll be closer to nature, and I'll be able to satisfy that wanderlust that I have. I like new experiences. I like new things. I get bored doing one thing, being in one place for very long. And when I get bored, it's not a good thing. Trust me, it's not a good thing. So this is the perfect solution for me. I get to travel. I get to see things. I get to be a different place every week, every month if I want. So living in an RV really it was like ding, 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 a light bulb went off. That is what I want to do. Within 6 weeks, I bought Matilda. And so I sold everything I owned. I sold everything. Everything, all my work clothes, all my purses, all my everything, and except my car, which was in storage, which I am now selling. That was a safety net for me. I wanted to hold on that just in case I needed to go back. I couldn't be driving that to work if I had to go back and get a job or an apartment. So I saved my car, but I sold everything else in a garage sale and gave the rest to Goodwill. And whatever I couldn't fit in my RV, I got rid of. And I decided a while ago that I needed to live a more minimalist lifestyle anyway, so it all just seemed to work for me. I had a bunch of junk I didn't need. So that's my story. 7 months ago on April 1st, I started living in Tilly here, and I have honestly not looked back. I have had some very difficult times, especially recently. I blew out my transmission. Everybody's worst nightmare realized. I was stuck in a mechanic shop for 2 weeks. I had some very low days. That was a rough time. And I thought, why am I doing this? What is it really worth it? All this headache and all the money, when it's so easy to just go back and live in an apartment. And then I thought, yeah, and then what? Sit in front of the TV and just die and just wait for your weekends and your few trips? I can't do it. So I found my life. I found my reason for living, I guess. That sounds kind of corny, but I think this is what I am meant to do. And right now, I can't see ever going back. So despite the challenges, I've had a couple minor scary situations, which I'll explain in a future video when I talk about safety, especially for women. And I've had breakdowns, that's plural. I've had more than one breakdown in 7 months. So all of that is on my website. I've got stories and I've got tips on how to buy an RV, and I'll also be doing some video of that. So that's what's coming in the future. Videos about tips, about safety, about things I learn along the way, maybe just some random goofy stuff, maybe just some beautiful videos of the scenery of the different places that I go, maybe the people that I meet. And I'll also be continuing to blog as I go as well. So I hope that you will stay with me. I hope that you will enjoy watching me as I kind of fumble through life and this new chapter of my life. I do kind of stumble through life. And I hope that you enjoy along the way. And if you want to follow me, I have 2 blogs, carolinsrvlife.com, tips and tricks, boondocking locations, all kinds of great stuff there. And if you want to follow my journey on the John Muir Trail, you can go there at aloneonthejmt.com. So that's my life today. I am here in beautiful eastern Sierra Nevadas off of 395, just 20 miles south of Mammoth. It's November 13th. It's a beautiful day. So this is what my life looks like, and I couldn't be happier. I hope you are too, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.